Dear students, very good morning. Welcome back. Today, in our lecture number 10, as you all know, chemistry continues, chapter number 2, and name of the chapter you all know, acid, base, and salt. In that, we were discussing, if you know, and if you can remember, our discussion was continuing on salts. And at that time, I have given you an idea how can you ascertain about salt. The name of any chemical ends with chloride and sulfate or carbonate, that means acid. So today, as you must be knowing that you have discussed yesterday about chlor-alkali process in our lecture number 9. Today, in our lecture number 10, okay, we are going to discuss more about other salts, okay. In chlor-alkali process, if you can remember, we have discussed in detail about the 3 products which are obtained from chlor-alkali process. We have discussed about how when electric current is passed in, it decomposes and forms 3 products. That's one type of combination reaction. No doubt brine is prepared. Understand, when sodium chloride dissolves in water, it gives rise to 3 products. One, that was NaOH, caustic soda, sodium hydroxide. If you can remember, okay, I am just reminding those names so that some of the uses of the various salt we are going to discuss can be clarified. Then hydrogen was another product and chlorine was the third product. 3 products we obtain on account of alkali process, and every product has got their particular use that you all know. Understood? We discussed about the uses of chlorine gas, we discussed about uses of hydrogen gas, as well as we discussed about the uses of sodium hydroxide for preparing bleaching also. Chlorine gas also used for preparing bleaching agent. Understand? So that we discussed in our previous lecture. Today, we want to complete this chapter by just giving some time for the discussion of some other types of salt. Okay? Now, today we are going to discuss one another salt, and that is, we are going to discuss today first about bleaching powder. Understand? This is our topic of discussion today. That's the first topic, bleaching powder. Now, my dear student, name itself implies the meaning of this. Understand? When you say bleaching powder, obviously something has to click in your mind. Bleach means to decolorize. You must be knowing the meaning of this. If somebody you are knowing that to bleach, that means its meaning gets clear, to decolorize. Okay, to decolorize. That means bleaching powder can be utilized for the purpose of bleaching something, that is for decolorizing something. Understand? The very first thing today which we want to discuss is how bleaching powder is actually produced. So before we understand the production of bleaching powder first, you must know what is the formula of bleaching powder, and I also want to mention its name. Actually, the formula of bleaching powder, its chemical name, let me write first. It is calcium. It can be spoken as this, hypochlorite. Okay. Actually, in common language, we call it bleaching powder, but actually it is known as calcium hypochlorite. And if you just want to write its formula, it is like this, CaOCl2. That's the formula of bleaching powder. This is formula of bleaching powder. Spoken its chemical name as calcium hypochlorite. Understood? That is its chemical name. In common language, it is spoken as bleaching powder. The question is that how the industrial manufacturing of bleaching powder take place? How is bleaching powder in fact produced? The first thing, if I just mention the raw material for the production of bleaching powder, which are those raw material with the help of which bleaching powder can be produced. So if I just mention one name, that is calcium hydroxide, you all know the formula, calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. But at the same time, you all know that calcium hydroxide is also known as lime, or we sometimes say it lime water also. But here, for the production of bleaching powder, we do not have to take lime water. Actually, we have to take, lime water can also be sometimes spoken as slacked lime, that you all know. Here, this is known as slacked lime, but for the production of bleaching powder, you need dry slacked lime. Understand? That means when you prepare lime, actually slacked lime by dissolving calcium oxide in water, obviously it is in aqueous format mixture. Now it has to be made dry. That means the water content has to be absorbed from that, and that dry slacked lime is utilized for the production of bleaching powder. Understand? Actually what happens? Dry slacked lime, if I just mention the chemical equation for the manufacturing of bleaching powder, just let us mention CaOH twice. It is taken in solid form, dry slacked lime. Understand? When dry slacked lime reacts with chlorine, in fact, the word itself goes like this, that when chlorine gas is absorbed on dry slacked lime, it is spoken in this manner. How it is spoken? When chlorine gas is absorbed on dry slacked lime, it gives rise to bleaching powder, that is calcium hypochlorite. Okay, it gives rise to bleaching powder. At the same time, it also produces water. So this is the way how we are able to get bleaching powder. Understand? How it can be spoken as when chlorine is absorbed on dry slacked lime, they react with each other, and as a result we get two products. One is H2O and another is CaOCl2, which is known as calcium hypochlorite, or also known as bleaching powder. This way we are able to get bleaching powder. Now suppose if somebody asks which are the uses of bleaching powder, so obviously your mind is quite clear. Name itself, I first gave the implication of that bleaching powder means it is one type of powder which can decolorize. So obviously I mentioned some of the uses of some bleaching agent, understand, in our previous lecture discussion also, that bleaching powder can be very useful, understand, paper industry. In paper industry, actually what happens when pulp is prepared, and mostly if you think of some way back time, so wood pulp was the best way, understand, for preparing bleaching powder, but it is not the case today. Today, the lots of other material are also utilized. Understand, environmental friendly materials are utilized for the production of paper, but in fact, paper was prepared from wood pulp. Now, that wood pulp, actually, when the wood pulp is prepared, it is not pure white so that it can and roll out into the paper sheets. It has, understand, that some color. So to prepare the paper sheets from it, it needs to be decolorized. Decolorized means you have to turn it into whitish color. We want the wood pulp to be whitish, and for that purpose it is bleached with the help of bleaching powder. This bleaching powder actually bleaches pulp, and as a result it becomes whitish and can be rolled into paper sheets. Even my dear student, I mentioned that recycling, if you can remember, recycling of paper take place, recycling of plastic take place. During the recycling process, the used and thrown away papers are again converted into paper pulp, which is actually not whitish. Now it is decolorized, it is bleached with the help of bleaching powder and turned white, and again it is rolled into the sheets. Understand? So in paper industry, bleaching powder is utilized for the purpose of bleaching. Bleaching means to decolorize, that means to make it whitish. At the same time, bleaching powder is also utilized in textile industries also, where also it can be a great help to bleach the cotton pulp, understand, from which actually the fibers are prepared. So there also bleaching powder can be of great use in cotton industry, means in textile industry, to bleach the material, understand, and after bleaching that material, it can be, understand, converted into fibers to spun the clothes from that. At the same time, if I mention one another use of bleaching powder, that's little unknown for you, that bleaching powder can also be utilized as an oxidizing agent in some chemical reaction. It can be utilized as an oxidizing agent in some chemical reaction. About oxidizing agent, I do not need to mention, because you all know what is the role of oxidizing agent. That means to oxidize other chemicals, other element, by giving away oxygen. So bleaching powder can work as an oxidizing agent in some chemical reaction. At the same time, same bleaching powder can play a role of chlorine sometime. At the time when I explain you chlor-alkali process, I mentioned, if you can remember, one use of chlorine, that chlorine is utilized to treat water in a water filtration plant for the purpose of what? For the purpose as a germicide, to kill the germs present in the water and make the water potable or drinkable. So same use of chlorine can also be synonymized by bleaching powder. Bleaching powder can also be utilized as a germicide to kill the germs in water and make it potable for us. Understand? So these are some of the uses of bleaching powder we just discussed. Understand? As far as the short note is concerned, you have to be very, very sure about some of the fact which you need to write. First, you should know the correct formula and correct chemical equation. Formula of bleaching powder known as calcium hypochloride, CaOCl2. How bleaching powder is produced, which are the raw material for the production of bleaching powder, so chlorine gas and dry slag to lime. In fact, the statement is that chlorine gas is absorbed on dry slag to lime, and as a result the two products obtained, one of the product is water and another is calcium hypochloride, CaOCl2, which is by common name known as bleaching powder. Bleaching powder uses we just mentioned and you noted down, given in material also. Understand? So this is our discussion about bleaching powder. Okay. One salt we already discussed, that is NaCl, the most important salt commonplace in our daily life, utilized as an edible salt and raw material in the chlor-alkali process for the production of NaOH, H2 and Cl2. Another salt we just now discussed, that is calcium hypochloride, bleaching powder. Both the salt, if you speak their name, you speak the name of the first salt, that is sodium chloride. You speak the name of this salt, bleaching powder, calcium hypochloride. Name of both the salt ends with chloride. So you can say that these two salt which we have discussed already, sodium chloride and calcium hypochloride, are actually considered a salt of chloride family. How can you say? Salts of chloride family. Okay. Now, so after discussing about bleaching powder, let us discuss about another salt. This is all a simple discussion about salts only. Understand it, what it demands? Correct formula. Then you have to write correct chemical equations and some of the uses. If you miss one or two use, doesn't matter much, but you have to be very sure, understand, regarding the fact. Suppose, let us discuss about third, salt. What we are discussing about is well-known name in your mind, that is baking soda. Not a new name, baking soda, also known as baking powder. Understand, you all know it very well. Baking soda is never a new name for us. Also known as baking powder, as you all know, understand, we call it by common name baking powder. Okay. At the same time, if you want to write its chemical name, the chemical name you must be remembering, we have taken in chemical property also sodium. It can be spoken as sodium bicarbonate, or you can say sodium hydrogen carbonate, that you all know very well. Either you speak sodium hydrogen carbonate or you can say sodium bicarbonate, understand? And the formula also you might be knowing because it looks like a revisional, understand? Suppose you might be knowing its formula, sodium bicarbonate, the formula itself is NaHCO3. You might be knowing this formula. Now, sodium bicarbonate, also known as baking powder, understand, we call it sodium bicarbonate, we call it sodium hydrogen carbonate also sometime. This sodium bicarbonate is prepared, understand, industrially. And one more thing also, this sodium bicarbonate has, you know, sometime before we discuss about its chemical properties and all thing about its manufacturing, etc., regarding some of the uses. The one use I just want to mention that at home it happened that sometime due to some overeating or due to some indigestion problem, eating or indigestion problem, it happens sometime that you may suffer from burning sensation throughout our alimentary canal, understand? So that happens due to acidity. So acidity whenever occurs due to indigestion, understand, either indigestion or some other factor responsible when acidity take place. So at that time, it's a habit that person will like to take some the food in their body, in their stomach. At that time, you have seen, are taking baking soda solution, understand, as a mild anti-acid. What they do, they just take baking powder, actually mix with water and prepare a dilution, and that is one type of anti-acid which is of acidity in your body. How it happens? Actually, you all know neutralization reaction. When acid and base react with each other, they destroy each other's chemical properties and means they nullify each other's chemical effect. So when acidity must have occurred in your stomach, understand, and that unbearable burning sensation, understand, pains you, so at that time you take baking soda solution, understood, as an anti-acid. Actually what is there, that when you take this baking soda solution, it is actually a mild non-corrosive base, that I should mention. It is mild non-corrosive base, understand? Because it has got basic property, it can be taken as an anti-acid, and the moment this anti-acid baking powder solution reaches, understand, to your stomach, it neutralizes the excess acid formation in your stomach and neutralize it, and because it is neutralized, what happens? You feel relief from acidity. So before we discuss about the manufacturing of baking soda, I already gave you one use of baking soda. At the same time, if you can remember, during cooking, baking powder is also utilized, understand, for increasing the rate of cooking. For faster cooking also, baking powder can be utilized, understand. That's why the name itself is baking. To bake the things quite faster, it can be utilized. It is also utilized to prepare soda acid fire extinguisher, which you must have studied somewhere in previous standard as a fire extinguisher also. same baking soda, understand, with a mild acid, tartaric acid, understand, is also added to make the food item with some sour flavor. Suppose if you want to prepare dhokla, etc., understand, so there the baking powder is actually added in that. That baking powder which is added in that, understand, not only it makes it soft and fluffy, why it occurs we will discuss just now, understand, but utilized for preparing such food item as well as most of the bakery items, understand, which are baked, understand, to prepare the dough for preparing this bakery item, we also add some amount of baking soda, baking powder in that, understood. Now first, what we want to discuss is how industrial manufacturing of baking soda take place. Again, my dear student, sodium chloride, raw material. Understand? Sodium chloride was a raw material in chlor-alkali process for the production of NaOH, H2 and Cl2. Here again, sodium chloride is a raw material for the production of baking powder, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate. Raw material is already sodium chloride. How we will explain the chemical reaction taking place here, understand. So actually for the, you need to remember this chemical equation quite clearly. Sodium chloride is utilized as a raw material for the production of sodium bicarbonate, that is confirmed. But actually sodium chloride is not the only raw material for the production of baking powder. Which are the raw material which can be utilized for the production of baking powder? Let us mention the chemical reaction actually which is taking place. What we have to take, I am just writing the chemical equation, I am giving the explanation at the same time. Sodium chloride solution, when I speak the word, obviously I have to write H2O because I spoke. Sodium chloride solution is prepared and carbon dioxide and ammonia gas NH3 is passed through that. First you just see the four raw materials for the production of baking powder. Sodium chloride solution is prepared and through it carbon dioxide gas and ammonia gas is passed. Due to the reaction between all these raw material, two products are obtained. One, that is NaHCO3, that is sodium bicarbonate, and another product obtained, that is ammonium chloride. Okay. So two products are obtained due to the reaction. Okay. So baking powder is this way obtained. How can you explain the reaction? In textbook they have just given the chemical equation representing the chemical reaction taking place during the production of baking powder. You have to remember this way: sodium chloride solution is treated with carbon dioxide and then ammonia is passed through this. So two products which are obtained are one sodium bicarbonate and another product is ammonium chloride. So this way we got sodium bicarbonate, understood. Another product ammonium chloride is obtained. It is no doubt a byproduct during this chemical reaction, but it can also have uses. Sodium bicarbonate, this way obtained, understand, has lots of uses that you all know. Few uses though I already just now, the most of the uses I mentioned immediately now. Understand? Actually, what I want to explain to you is this. I told you that some of the food items which are prepared, like dhokla, handwo, bread, toaster, understand, etc. means most of the bakery item which are prepared by preparing dough, and that dough needs to be fermented. In that, while preparing that mixture, some of the baking powder is always added to it. And because that baking powder is added to it, actually what happens when you cook it, when you bake them, actually what happens, the baking powder which is already added there, what happens to that baking powder during this reaction? Understand, just try to understand. Suppose we have prepared the mixture. For preparing either any item, okay, mixture you see here, which we also call dough, okay. Now in this mixture you have added some baking powder already, that is NaHCO3, okay. Actually what happens when you heat it, when you, after fermentation, no doubt, after the mixture got thoroughly fermented, after it got thoroughly fermented, and when you heat it, means you try to bake it, at that time what happens, because baking powder is already present there, now that baking powder, understand, what happens to that? Suppose I write the equation again, baking powder, which was actually added in preparing that dough mixture. Understand? Now actually what happens, when you try to cook that bread, dhokla, whatever, cake, whatever, at that time decomposition of baking powder take place. And because decomposition of baking powder take place, it produces Na2CO3 plus H2O plus carbon dioxide. Okay, to just balance you put 2 here. Here my dear student, you have to make one thing clear, because when you try to cook that item, means when you try to bake that item, what actually take place? Decomposition of baking powder, which was initially added as an ingredient in that, decomposes and it produces washing soda, water and carbon dioxide. Due to the production of carbon dioxide, understand, it fills the bread, cake, toaster, whatever, and because of that dhokla and all becomes soft and fluffy due to the production of carbon dioxide. But at the same time, due to production of sodium carbonate, have you tested it? If you haven't, you can go to any provision store, take some washing soda and test it. As I told you, it is a mild non-corrosive base, means it tastes little bitter. So if you have added it in preparing dhokla, and what happens when it is heated, carbon dioxide no doubt fills it and makes the dhokla soft and fluffy, but at the same time sodium carbonate which is produced, understand, will turn the taste of it little bitter. To avoid this, so that the all food item prepared does not give some bitter taste, baking powder is always added with a little mild acid, that is tartaric acid. Why it is added while baking powder is prepared to be utilized for cooking purpose? So that when production of sodium carbonate tries to make the food item little bitter, but because of presence of that tartaric acid, the sour taste is maintained. Okay, so these are some uses of baking soda. You understood the uses of baking soda? Okay. Now, let us discuss some another compound. Third we discussed, that is baking soda. Okay. Let us discuss about another one. You might have noted down each and everything, and while preparing baking powder, while little acid is present, because to alleviate that bitter taste which may occur during the production of food. Understand? Now the third one which we will discuss, understand that also you all know the name sodium carbonate, known as washing soda. Okay, washing soda, also known as washing powder. Understand, like that one known as baking powder, this is known as washing powder, and it has got a particular chemical formula, and that formula is Na2CO3. It is chemically spoken as sodium carbonate. Now dear student, try to understand how sodium carbonate is produced. So you can already remember the production of sodium bicarbonate. Actually sodium bicarbonate is prepared by the reaction between what? By the reaction between sodium chloride, water, carbon dioxide and ammonia. By the reaction of all these four, actually we all know that baking soda, baking powder is produced. At the same time I also explained, when baking powder is heated, it decomposes into what? The sodium carbonate, water and carbon dioxide. So we already obtained sodium bicarbonate just by heating baking soda. Okay. So if we just write the chemical equation of preparation of sodium carbonate, I can write when sodium bicarbonate is actually heated, understand, when it is heated, it decomposes into three products. One of the product is sodium carbonate, another product is water, and another product is carbon dioxide. So one of the product is already washing soda. So this way washing soda can be produced. But washing soda produced this way has to be crystallized, has to be converted, has to be made crystalline, and for that purpose washing soda needs to absorb some water, understand, of crystallization. We need the reabsorption of water in this, and as a result the crystalline powder of washing soda is produced. This 10 water molecule which is absorbed by it is known as water molecules of crystallization. What is spoken as? Water molecule of crystallization. Now, where is washing soda used? So if I just tell you where it is used, you all know. As a cleansing agent for preparation of detergents, cleansing agent in our home for cleaning the tiles, also for cleaning clothes also, means cleansing agent for preparing detergent, for even it is used for preparing cement, it is used for preparing glass, it is used for preparing borax powder, lots of uses of washing soda are already mentioned, understand? And you might be knowing one use also, that washing soda can remove the hardness of water. You all know that water which is containing more salt is not suitable for washing purpose, that is for washing clothes. So to remove the hardness of water, some washing soda is always added. So it is used as a best cleansing agent also. Borax powder, glass, cement, all uses you can read from material also, understand? So this is how washing soda is prepared. And my dear student, you should remember, this can be asked in one line. How many molecules of water of crystallization washing soda possess? So 10 molecules of water, that you should remember. Now let us discuss another salt, the last one today, okay, and last topic of this chapter already. That is, let us discuss about, that is also a well-known name in your mind, understand? Suppose if I write the word plaster of Paris, you all know that, understand? You all must be knowing, right? Plaster of Paris. And when I just speak plaster of Paris, immediately what comes to your mind is orthopedic surgery, where actually plaster of Paris, that white powder, is utilized, understand, for by the orthopedic surgeon for setting the bone in right position, that you all might be knowing, understand? This plaster of Paris actually, that is common name, but if you want to write its scientific name, it can be spoken as calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Why I utilize this word hemihydrate, that you will understand when we write its chemical equation, chemical formula. Actually, the formula of calcium sulfate is looking like this. It is CaSO4 half H2O. That's the formula. Understand? That's why it is called calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Understand how it is prepared? How calcium sulfate hemihydrate, known as plaster of Paris, is prepared? So by heating gypsum, we write the chemical equation of chemical formula of gypsum, CaSO4 2H2O. This is chemical formula of gypsum, also known as calcium sulfate. How many molecules of what? How many water molecule of crystallization it possesses? 2 molecules. Understand? Now when gypsum is heated, it forms 1 molecule of calcium sulfate hemihydrate, that is CaSO4 half H2O, understand, and 1.5 molecules of water also. So this way, calcium sulfate hemihydrate, known as plaster of Paris, can be obtained. Which are the uses of plaster of Paris? Should I mention it? You all know that plaster of Paris, no doubt, is a fine white powder consisting of, it is hemihydrated, so just half molecules of water. But when it is again added with water, due to the addition of water, it makes a thick sticky paste, which is utilized by the doctor, understand, for orthopedic surgery, to set the bone broken in right position. So it is a great help in orthopedic surgery. It is also utilized for another purpose, that is to make decorative articles, decorative statues, understand, decorative articles. Even I must mention one thing, that same plaster of Paris can also be utilized in denture casting actually by dentist. When somebody wants to prepare a socket of teeth, understand, so actually dentist prepare it by taking the impression, understand, of your teeth initially. That is called denture casting, understand. So there also plaster of Paris is utilized to get the impression of your teeth, and accordingly your new artificial teeth are manufactured. So in denture casting also it is utilized, understand. And my dear student, one more thing, so you all know one use, that is for making false ceiling, POP, plaster of Paris. Name itself suggests we are speaking that an POP is a dream material for the architect, because no architect is there who is not suggesting in constructing a new house the use of POP ceiling. Understand that false ceiling, that POP ceiling is also produced with the help of plaster of Paris also. So these are some of the uses of plaster of Paris, that is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. And my dear student, you should know, okay, all salts are not dry. Most of the salt possess some molecules of water of crystallization. Here, suppose washing soda possess 10 molecules of water of crystallization. Suppose calcium sulfate hemihydrate, plaster of Paris, possess half molecules of water of crystallization. Similarly, suppose somebody asks you copper sulfate, just I'll write the formula. Actually, copper sulfate, it is also one of the salt. But if I write the formula of copper sulfate, actually this is the formula. Actually, copper sulfate crystals are bluish in color on account of this 5 water molecule of crystallization. If you heat it, understand, it loses these 5 molecules of water and turns whitish. Understand? It loses 5 molecules of water. And again when it regains 5 molecules of water of crystallization, it turns bluish in color. So every salt possess, understand, every salt possess water molecules of crystallization, means all salts are not dry. That you should keep it in mind, because most of the salt possess some molecules of water of crystallization. You understood this? Okay. So my dear student, today our complete discussion was regarding salts only, right? And as I told you, salt family, so you just speak the name of the salt. Suppose sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, so they are called family of which salt? So sulfate salt. Understand? So you speak the name carbonate salt, you speak the name copper sulfate, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, though they are salts of sulfate family. So that way salts can also be assigned particular families. Understand? So today our discussion about salt is totally over, and today in our lecture number 10 we are able to complete your chapter number 2, that is acid, base and salt. Okay, you must have caught all the points I have discussed here. Okay, and for this lecture, understand, thank you very much from Bharat sir.